Good evening, classmates. Magandang gabi po sa ating lahat. At it's another Tuesday evening. Martes ng gabi. Of course, wala ngayon si no? Unfortunately, wala po si Coach Cher. Wala siya ngayon. So we say hello to her. She's doing something important sa work niya. So she cannot join us tonight. But we're happy to say that we have a special session for you tonight. We have a live workshop. It's the first time that we're going to do a live workshop dito po sa the Resto Coach, and maraming salamat sa mga usual na mga early birds, no? Andiyan, nandito na kaagad sila, oh. Si Miss Cynthia Bernardo, si Jazz, best friend Jazz, Distrito, magandang gabi sa iyo. Nami-miss ko yung Blue Hearts pagka wala ka, no? Pero usually naman narito ka every Tuesday. Maraming salamat. And from Singapore, ito na yung mga kasama natin from other parts of the world. From Singapore, Mr. Carlito, yan, aking classmate. Present, roll call na, President, sabi niya. Neil Martinez, magandang gabi sa iyo. At sa mga kasama natin sa Zark's Burgers. Si Miss Nika de Belen Galvan, magandang gabi sa iyo. No? At sa mga kasama mo, dyan sa Pat and Pat. Cynthia Bernardo at ang mga taga-University Hotel, nabanggit niya natin kanina, they're always watching every Tuesday. No, looking forward to all learnings that we share here. At ganyan din po tayo, no, if we're joining the live workshop tonight, magyaya po tayo because this is a rare opportunity for all of us to learn something valuable, no? Ito ay applicable hindi lang during the pandemic times, but especially now that we're navigating the impact of yung pinag-usapan natin last week, di ba? Stagflation, no? Yung stagnating economy and inflation na pinagsama. So, yan. Magandang gabi rin sa iyo, Nika. Magandang gabi kay Manuel Regondola Jr., sir. Magandang gabi po. At si Christina McCaffrey. Good evening, Miss Christina McCaffrey of Bridget's. So, ito, mahaba yung ating session and we'll make sure that ma-optimize natin yung ating bisita na isang ano rin to. Busy rin na tao. So, without further ado, yan. Without further ado, we're going to introduce. By the way, bago ko introduce yung ating bisita, yung ating pong top 3 takeaways ay itatackle natin next week, no? Kasi nagkaroon tayo ng isang very unusual episode last time because sumabol lang si Cher. Dahil nga nagkaroon ng nakakatawa yung kwento last week, nakakatuwa. Because nakita natin yung determination ng aking partner to make it to the show despite the train stoppage, no, nahinto yung tren, bumaba sa gitna ng malakas na ulan, naghanap ng paraan upang umabot sa ating episode. And again, partner, we appreciate your commitment and dedication to help our classmates here in Coach and Share. At mas maganda kung magagawa ni Share yung top 3 takeaways with us the next episode. So yan, may utang sa atin si Share at namimiss ka namin, Share. So our guest speaker tonight, no, speaker, facilitator, she will do the workshop, no, and excited na ako rin, sasali ko, ihanda nyo ng inyong mga notebook, no, mga papel at ballpen, no, importanteng gamitin natin ating mahiwagang notebook ngayong gabi for us to be able to participate live dito sa workshop na gagawin. Our guest believes that bringing out the unique strengths and values of the owner or the founder or the company president or kung sino man ang namumuno sa organisasyon is crucial in setting the foundation for a strong brand. I believe so too. No? In 2014, she developed a holistic and collaborative approach to branding while taking her master's in entrepreneurship in the Ateneo de Manila Graduate School. For over 2 decades, 20 years, she has been guiding leaders of both local and international brands to grow in purposeful, sustainable ways that truly add value to the people around them. Diba? Purposeful, meaning merong impact to the community. Pakikinggan natin mamaya how it becomes so. No? And during the pandemic, she wrote and published the Vision to Action Toolkit. Nakaka-excite. Meron ako niyan. A book which helps business owners regain their focus and confidence in navigating any challenge while making a positive difference in their relationships and lives of the people they touch. Her company, Blue Thumb, helped organizations gain more clarity, confidence, unity, and momentum towards business growth and scale. Now, kasama natin siya to give a talk and to be our facilitator for our workshop tonight. on future-proofing our businesses with a strong brand. Please, let's give a warm welcome to the founder and managing director of Blue Thumb Brand Experience Agency, Miss Cherry Ko. Ayan. Coach Cherry, magandang gabi. Magandang gabi at welcome back.
Yes, magandang gabi, Coach Mel, and I'm really happy to be here again. So thank you also for trusting me with this and meeting your community again.
Yeah, the last time you were here, it was still in the midst of the pandemic. Am I right? Diba? Nito ka pa nung pandemya yun, no? So how was your first guesting? How was your experience?
Very nervous because I mean, yeah, parang parang hindi lang sanay like giving talks all the time, but I know that it's important because there's information that I think that people would help them progress. So that's why I do this. But
yeah, totoo 'yun, no? And I admire you for that, no? Yung overcoming your own your own ika nga sometimes we have our our judgment sa sarili natin. We sometimes get ika nga we underrate ourselves, di ba? Na tayo mismo yung pinaka kritiko ng ating sarili, and I'm happy that you've mentioned that, no? Para malaman din ng ating guests that it doesn't really, while you are special, Coach Cherry, it doesn't really take a special person to overcome, di ba, challenges in life for us to be able to share, di ba? Lalo ngayong mga panahon na to, very important for people to continue to share. Ako parati ko sinasabi yan sa sarili ko, do I need to be perfect for me to start coaching and mentoring? And then I realized, no, may isa o dalawang tao kang matulungan in the midst of the pandemic. It's very important. Di ba?
yes.
So tonight, na-excite ako dahil she will give us her time, and more than the time, it's the expertise. So again, the encouragement to everyone who's already live watching the show, bring out your mahiwagang notebook, ilabas nyo na yung mga notebooks nyo, no? At magsisimula na po tayo. And ako, I will participate also. I'll write down things. That's the best way to learn, is also to be participative and to get involved, di ba? So walang mawawala. Ito po ay walang bayad, no? Ang inihingi lang po sa atin ay ating oras at atensyon. So I don't want to belabor the point. So ito na po ang ating bisita, and I will be guiding her, I'll be helping her, assisting her with the slides. So please, Coach Cherry, I will just now share the screen for everyone to start enjoying yung ating workshop for tonight. Sige, go ahead, Coach.
Thank you. So what I'll be sharing with you is not just helping you figure out the ingredients of a powerful vision, because you might already have a vision. But the question is, like, who wrote that vision for you? And is it something that you feel strongly about and it inspires you and your people? So today's session is more to reevaluate lang and parang polish the vision that you already wrote before and make it more powerful. And aside from that, we're also going to be sharing with you like how to future, since I am a branding and design, I mean, that's what I do. May kasama rin siyang how to future-proof your brand. So parang will not just be doing a powerful vision, but you'll also, part of it is envisioning what a strong brand is and why it would matter to your business and your community. Because now the game is really having a community, as what Coach Mel's past talks diba, had about community building, Coach Mel.
Yeah, totoo, no? It's very important to collaborate, to cooperate, and to work with people nowadays.
Yes, the people that are your tribe or that believe in you and you believe in them, and you guys share these values and bring your strengths together. So how to get the best of today's workshop is be present. If you can set your phone aside for now, and really just, be mentally, physically, and, put your heart into this, because we also need to remember that, parang time is not unlimited, diba? Our time on the planet. And I'm getting a little emotional, but anyway, don't mind that, because that's just, natural for me. So, we don't have like time is not infinite. So part of doing a powerful vision nga rin is really, focusing on what matters to you and the people that matter to you. So whether they're your family or your team, diba, and your clients and customers. So try to participate actively because this is a good time. And while things are still while we're still transitioning to the new world, diba? Parang it's time para we're preparing ourselves, diba? And strengthening what we have. So you'll be noticing some parang images that these are actually diamonds. So yung mga images that you're noticing, these are diamonds because we want you to really, figure out what makes you valuable. So yung vision naman is your star. So your star is where you want to go and who you want to be. So if you look back at your current vision, how clear and brilliant and beautiful and inspiring is it to you and your people right now? So on a scale of 1 to 10, you might want to type in the chat if you would like to share with us what level you're at in terms
Yes,
of.
we encourage everyone to participate on the chat box para makikita rin ng iba nating mga viewers, no, our answers, so we can help each other. So please, no, type lang po natin sa comment section ang ating rating. Gaano kalinaw, gaano kaliwanag, gaano kaganda, at gaano ka-inspiring yung ating vision right now. No, sabi nga diyan, if you imagine your star as your vision, a star as your vision, how clear, brilliant, beautiful, or inspiring is it right now? So sabi diyan, rate natin on a scale of 1 to 10. 10 being the highest. Sige.
And then after writing your number, you might want to say why you gave it that rating.
Bakit? At bakit? O yan. Si Coach Mel Isagire, sabi niya 10. So incomplete answer ka, Coach Mel, no? Penalty ka. Papadala ka ng tapa kasi hindi mo sinabi why. Si Carlos din, 10, sabi niya. Teacher Yam, magandang gabi sa'yo. Magandang gabi kay Elmer Miklat at sa lahat ng mga taga-Shakey's. Grace Talusan, magandang gabi po sa inyo. Carlos Torrejas. Sherlyn Esmeralda, magandang gabi. And thank you for watching, Che. No? I think she's going back from vacation. I hope you enjoyed your vacation and we miss you. Marinor de Guzman, magandang gabi rin sa'yo. Lance Luis Kigyoka, Caviteño, magandang gabi. Michael Valeroso, good evening. Sharon Leongson, magandang gabi sa iyo. Si trainer din to, si Ian Manuel, magandang gabi. Si Miss Chinta Renal. Si Darwin Matienzo. Yan, nagyaya siya. Thank you, Darwin. Nagyaya ka kay Rose Ann De Leon. At sa lahat ng nanonood at hindi natin nabate, please participate. Sa ang tanong, rate your vision from scale of 1 to 10, on a scale of 1 to 10, and why? Why do you rate it such?
Sige, and then babalikan natin yan. So, we can skip this.
Okay. Kala ko meron kang spill doon eh. Sige.
So why is visioning for progressive entrepreneurs and leaders important? So being in the industry for over 20 years, parang napansin ko whenever I go to mga boardrooms, diba, usually may mga posters of what a vision is. And sometimes mahaba, or sometimes, or sometimes the employees don't know the vision. Like if you ask them, they need to refer to their IDs. So this tells me that the vision isn't compelling for everyone in the organization. So an example of a very clear vision and inspiring is the one for NASA, because during the time that nobody could go to the moon yet, or nobody has, successfully done it, their vision was to land a person on the moon and bring them back. So that was they didn't tell their people how to do it, but they figured out how to do it. So a janitor, diba, working in NASA, mopping the floors would say something like, I'm mopping the floors to put a man on the moon. So nagkakaroon ng parang, diba, parang reason and meaning for things that he's doing na we might say that it's a small thing, but actually that matters, because who wants to go to a place with dirty floors or dirty bathrooms? So yun, parang I think that, and the reason that I wrote this during the pandemic was, I felt that a lot of people had a lot of time on their hands, that they could rehash or repolish their vision so that it can be inspiring for their people and, for designers like us, diba, who will translate your dreams into a reality.
Totoo yan, Coach. Kami rin, no? Our experience, you have to revisit, review, refine, no? Whatever you want to call it, but it's basically calibrating your vision for the new reality of the world, di ba? Kasi it was so sudden, all the changes that happened, and you have to revisit, no? Tingnan mo if the vision is still relevant. Sige.
So was this how you felt during the pandemic? Na parang you're in a storm, like you're a boat, lost at sea, and it's foggy, you don't know where you're going, or everything's just so uncertain, diba, with the pandemic. And so that's also how I felt and my team. And I guess to just find some meaning, and parang I wanted to, parang think of a way to move forward. And so we came up with the framework of what we're doing for the toolkit and coaching, because parang we tested it on ourselves and we tested it on some of our clients, and it helped them so parang get more clarity. And I think that sometimes we, to be in certain situations, we just need to find a way to guide us. And I'll share with you a story when I met a datu in Bukidnon. So that was also the time, wala pang pandemic nun, but I had my child. And syempre, once you have a child, parang it seems like the world is a really scary place. So parang similar to that. But nung time na yon, I didn't have the framework pa. So it was more of the datu that gave me the answer during that time. And he said that as long as you know yourself and you know where you're going, so you have a star, then your boat can find its way, because then you'd know kung what waves you're gonna challenge, or because you know what kind of boat you are. So parang it was like a simple analogy, but I think that it's pretty fundamental, whether you're in a pandemic or you have a child, na parang it can guide you, or it can guide your child, na you have more confidence knowing that you just need to help your child know themselves so that they can navigate uncertainty. Just like your company, diba? If you're people and you know what makes you strong and what makes you unique and what makes you helpful in this world, then you'll know how to do things.
In essence, if I may add to that, no, totoo yun, no? I mean, in the midst of a crisis, no, or crisis, kung marami yung pinagdaanan, and the longer you live in this world, the more you realize that it can come, no, in several phases, no. Like yung pandemic ngayon, no, in the past 2 years, ngayon sinundan nung after effects, 'di ba, nung pandemic. So it goes on, no. But tama yung sinabi nung dato, and I'm glad that you're sharing it with all of us. Napakahalaga nung na yan, no, nung tanong. Actually, you can convert it into a question. Do you know yourself? And do you know where you're going to? 'Di ba? Sabi nga nung kanta, 'di ba? Might seem trivial, might seem parang cliche, but it's actually true. Ganun kasimple lang naman yung fundamental. Do you know yourself? no, your values, no, what you believe in, what you stand for, your purpose, and do you know where you're going to? What's your vision? No, kasi if you don't have a clear vision for yourself as a leader, then you won't be able to lead others towards that vision, di ba? So thank you for reminding us of that, no? So
And
yeah,
I'll share a poem also from my daughter's school.
sure.
So she's 5 years old, and there's this poem. So it's a very simple poem, so that they would, comprehend it and understand. So it goes like this: This is me. I find my star in the world I go. So, 'di ba pag sinabi mong
Galing.
mundo, maraming iba-ibang mundo, just like there are different people and their worlds or companies that you're entering or situations that you're entering. But as long as you know who you are, 'di ba, this is me. I find my star in the world I go. So having that vision, no matter what world you enter, would also guide you.
Very clear.
So this is a brand. No, so diba, I'm a branding agency, so I do branding for companies, but this one is based on my, I guess, things that are important to me, which is resilience and organic food and helping local farmers, diba, parang come up with a brand that is going to help local farmers and make it enjoyable then for customers. So it's a banana jerky. So in a world of banana chips, I focused on a dehydrated snack because based on my values, now I don't like to put so much sugar, or I'm choosing not to have so much sugar in the diet of my child and myself. So this is something resonates with me. And I also had a frustration before na parang how come we don't export any Filipino brands, or there aren't like many that are being exported as a brand. We keep exporting ingredients. So yung tough banana is somewhat also a name that I wanted Filipinos to be known for, na parang it's yun nga, parang we're tough bananas. So parang bananas are kind of diba, funny and are parang positive and sweet. But this is like yun, parang we don't, allow others to step on us, or yung parang we have a way of, bouncing back from challenges. So it's like a movement. At the same time, it's a snack. And it's a message that I wanted people to remember. And the snack itself, it's a jerky, so makunat siya. And parang it's a challenging snack because nga, I'm also saying that life is challenging, but you can eat your way through that stress. So parang it's stressed, restless, and bored. So parang it's a functional snack. Hindi lang siya for nourishment, which it does have, but other benefits. And then we also like partnered with like resilience coaches or psychologists kasi nga, they have tools to help us with our minds to bounce back. So parang your brand can actually extend to other things if it has like a fundamental maybe cause, tama ba? Or like
Or belief, yeah. Tama.
So maraming, kumbaga, we're hitting many birds or with one action, with coming up with something like this.
And I think it goes back to the word that you used earlier, no, resonating or resonance, diba? The more people can relate to the words, the brand elements, the message, the more it resonates.
So we could we could go to the next slide. So this book came from the quote that really resonated with me in 2020, before the pandemic happened. So it goes like this: vision without action is a dream, and action without vision will just pass time. Whereas vision together with action can change the world. So it's a hugot quote that resonated with me because I felt like yun nga, parang businesses or companies, puro action, but they kind of forgot nga the compelling reason of why they exist, and even how it's communicated to us, diba, we're the agency, is yun, parang I think that we could do more and their employees can do more if it's something that, you know, compels us. So I wanted in this book to, and this quote to, you know, to like to help people nga na kasi sayang kung a-action tayo, we might as well put passion into it, diba? Kung gagawin rin naman natin, why not do it with, diba, more care, more attention, more love, or more
Or
understanding,
purpose, yeah.
and more
I
purpose.
totally agree, di ba? I mean, I always say, never mistake activity for accomplishment. No, hindi porke may activity ka, meron ka na-accomplish. And how, you know, how do you measure your activity, and how do you gauge if it is already an accomplishment, diba? It's by having goals, and goals that are aligned with vision. So kung hindi ka papunta sa vision mo, di palayo ka, diba? So ganun lang naman yun eh. So it never stands still, no? Hindi ka pa pwedeng nag-stagnate din, diba? So totally agree.
So if you look at the image, the illustration, diba, it's yung star nasa mind and nasa puso, which will make the hands and the feet, diba, more purposeful in reaching your vision. So for
Yeah.
you, the leader, and for the people in your company. And even other people like your suppliers, your partners, diba, they'll also have more purpose in their actions when they work with you. They won't treat you just like you're just another transaction.
Yeah, agree.
So for the vision boarding, we did this with Philippine franchise, and I did it together with our partner who came here from Singapore. So they did something like this in Singapore, and they had like 800 people because they also felt that people there have forgotten their dreams. So sila dun, they had they had illustration boards. And then the one in SMX, we also had the illustration boards with the pictures. But for this activity, we just need a pen and paper. So you
Okay.
can still turn your vision board, what we'll do today, into pictures. So after we write it, tomorrow, pwede mong hanapan ng pictures on Canva, or if you have magazines.
Magazines. So cutouts, no? Pwede rin, cutouts.
And it would be good to be as precise. Kasi I've attended other vision boardings and parang pwedeng as many pictures. So this one, we want to make it as clear as possible. So only 5 images, because there's only 5 P's.
All right.
Of powerful vision, but I'm super clear. And then if you want, like, for example, if you want a red car, then, you know, put a red car, put like, or color it if it's not a red car, the picture that you have. But then it makes it clearer in your mind. Because the universe might send you something else if it's not. Okay, so what makes a powerful vision? So for me, it's about having purpose, diba? And knowing the people in your community, your company, or the people that matter to you, your family. And the third one is planet. So yung planet, like I mean, I've always been naman into planet pre-pandemic pa, pero the pandemic really heightened it, and parang may urgency na parang we need to do something because hindi naman unlimited ang resources ng planet, diba? But businesses sometimes operate like it is. And I included here Philippines. So what can your brand do for the country and the planet? And then your vision and your brand. And then for product naman, so this can be product or service depending on what kind of business you're in. But yun nga, service starts with an S, so I just put product. And then prosperity is after like having everything, like, I mean, being successful at this, diba, what will you do with all your I call it fuel. Like money for me is more of fuel, but it's there to add to what you already have. And oops, I mean, it's there to fuel your dreams and help you create more impact. So okay, so I'll be we'll just be spending like 1 minute per P. So as I describe what each P is, you can already write down your answer. So I'll be giving an example, which is Steve Jobs. So you just need to, but it'll be easy for you to think of your version or your purpose is, example ko kay Steve Jobs is like maybe a word. So what would your word be? So that's how you could, so it should only take like a minute to do each P. And don't overthink it. So sige, so let's start.
Thanks for the reminder. I was already overthinking it. As always.
So, the purpose of making it fast din is para rin you don't overthink. And pwede naman natin balikan. I mean, like you can always go back to these slides. Oh, okay, can we go back to the first one? So I'll give you a minute we'll stay on each slide for a minute. So
all right.
For purpose, I'd like you guys to think of a gap that you want to fill in your world with your brand that brings joy or relieves pain or a frustration for your customers. So si Steve Jobs, because he was a Zen meditator, diba? And during the time that computers were intimidating and clunky and not very well designed, parang he wanted to change the status quo. And he believed in simple, beautiful computers that are easy to use and well designed. So yun yung purpose niya, to create more simplicity in the world of complexity. So for you, ano yung hugot mo? Is it cleanliness? Is it speed? And are these things that you can fill with what it is that you're good at? So for some brands, is everybody? And then type in the chat if you have questions.
Yeah, if you have questions, if you have comments, if you want to share your answer, no, type lang natin sa comment box para at least nare-recognize natin yung inyong attentive and enthusiastic participation. Yan. Good evening kay Ulysses of Maxis Group, Mr. Eden de la Vega, Shira Pineda, Victor Mempin from the UK, Paulo Cruz of Glorieta, BWND, magandang gabi sa iyo, Yuan Villarasa, Maria Fe Belier, PJ Veloso, ang dami nagpa-participate. Congratulations for deciding to spend time in an activity like this. Lenny Goldberg, Isa Pamposa, magandang gabi sa iyo. Sa mga alam ko abala kayo ngayon pero nandito rin kayo. Charlene Sarmiento, magandang gabi sa iyo. Ma'am, ayan. Sige po. Go ahead, Miss Coach. Ito na lang, last si Marjorie Liwag at si Coach Jane Madlansakay. Magandang gabi po sa inyo.
Hello. We're good? Okay, so the next one is think about what are the kind of relationships that you want for your family, your clients, your employees, your collaborators, franchisees, and suppliers. Like who's your tribe of people that you enjoy working with or being with on a personal and professional way? So for Apple, because Steve Jobs believed in simplicity and good design, he hired John Ive, and he is their lead designer in creating the design of his products. So if Steve Jobs hired somebody who isn't about, minimalism and simplicity, then that would be a different output, diba? So simplicity can also be applied nga to the factories, diba, that they outsource their computers to, the ones that build it for them. Because
Yeah,
you want
I know, Coach Cherry, I always ano rin, no, mention yung statement na alignment is a prerequisite. No? Mahirap pag goal lang alignment kasi you're trying to align somebody, no? Especially pagdating sa businesses, no? May iba-iba yung values ng tao eh. They differ, no? So importante that you understand that alignment is really an important prerequisite to finding your tribe. Kasi you cannot call it your tribe kung iba-iba kayo ng paniniwala, di ba?
Yeah, and wala naman wrong or right. It just means that they're not a fit for what it is that you value. So
Yeah,
they
thanks for emphasizing that. It's not about, saying that you're right and other tribes are wrong. It's not saying that you are more valuable than the other tribes. It's just kayo yung magkakaano kayo yung magkakapareho, yung birds of the same feather, sabi nga, di ba?
Kayo nakakaintindi sa isa't isa.
Yes, align kayo. Pare-pareho kayo ng frequency.
Anong gaano kalalim yung ni Steve Jobs when it comes to simplicity and good design? Nagigets ni John Ive and he's able to translate it. Kasi people can fake it naman. There can be people who can do design that is minimalist, right? I mean, you just need to Google or get pegs or whatever. Pero iba rin if they put their craft and they really deepen their understanding and they really believe in your vision and your mission, help you bring it to life.
Believing what you stand for. Should we move on to the next slide?
Yes. So for the planet and the Philippines, since we're going into business na rin, diba, might as well include, important parts of our life, which is our planet and the country that we live in. So what does a beautiful, healthy environment or country look like that you would love to be a part of and share with other nationalities with your business and brand? And did you know that Sony, like during the time that Japan was not known for being quality and, Sony made it their mission as a company to have that level of excellence so that their reputation would rub off on the country that they represent. So we can do that too.
Alam mo, totoo yan. It's one of the things that yung napangarap ko for the country, no? Yung excellence as the standard. Kasi di ba yung kalaban nga natin typically as a culture is yung pwede na, no? Sometimes we confuse yung we confuse yung words like resilience and all of these positive things supposedly. And we confuse it with settling. We settle for things that are not really excellent. Diba? And we try to justify it, make an excuse. So magandang advocacy rin niya that I really believe in, no? That with higher standards, Filipinos can actually excel, no? Alam naman natin yung mga OFW dito lang sa show natin. Dami nakikinig na OFW, alam nila yan for a fact, no? That when Filipinos are given the right environment, no, proper guidance and mentoring, they can actually achieve a higher standard.
Yes, and they're doing it but not in the country, diba? They left.
Oh, yun yung nakaka-frustrate sometimes, no? Yung reality that they're doing it somewhere else. And other people are actually more appreciative of what they're doing. So bring home the bring home the excellence, ika nga.
Okay.
Let's move forward, Coach.
Yes. So for your product or your service, if you're in a service business, what does being the best, excellent quality in your industry or area of expertise look like or feel like, and what would you be doing? So for Apple, diba, they own the qualities of being simple and easy and well designed. And they were able to apply it to different products, diba? From the phone to the watch. But they needed to succeed at one thing first, diba? So they started out with computers, and then now they're even doing something like subscription TV, diba? And music. So, but they started out with one thing, which was not computers. So what is yours that you are excellent at? Kasi like for example, bubble tea, diba? Milk tea, ang dami ng milk tea. And we know naman that there's really a demand for that. But if you're gonna go into that, diba, what can you do to make it something that is more ownable to you? Unless of course you're in a location na talagang walang milk tea, then maybe you don't need to try as hard at making it different. But if you do plan to go to other parts of the Philippines, then diba, you want to scale it, then from the start pa lang, you already need to think about what would make you, the best or excellent at this area.
It's
That
similar
people
to ano, no? Similar to your differentiation or your unique value proposition. Diba? Okay. So 1 minute para
Yeah.
sa ating mga participants, sa ating mga viewers. So what does being best, excellent, or quality in your area of expertise do, look, or feel like? Very important yung recognition natin nun, no? That we need to be the best, the most excellent, or the highest quality in that particular segment that we want to compete in, for customers to actually, for the market to actually prefer us over the competition, di ba? Yan naman sinasabi ko for Buffalo Wings and Things, yung preference, no, yung meaning to be preferred by customers, employees, landlords, and that humility to accept that if you don't, if you're not chosen, quote unquote chosen, no, then you will not be you will not be in a position to succeed. Kasi ang pipili sa iyo yung yung tao, no. Even the landlords, di ba, if they don't choose to trust your brand or trust your business, then wala ka ring pwepwestuhan.
Coach, can I add lang here na yung excellence na ginawa ni Apple is simplicity. So they were really excellent and best at owning simplicity, good design, diba? Applied not just to their products, but to their service. So even if there are brands that are copying Apple, like trying to be minimalist, offering it at a cheaper price, you still have an Apple tribe who are willing to spend and invest and line up, diba, for the next model, because nga they really believe in the ecosystem of Apple, not just the product. Kasi kung product lang naman yun, then they would buy other brands that are available. But it's also the after sales, diba, the community, and the ease of use of an Apple.
For me, it's the ease of use, and tama ka, yung simplicity. Kasi very important sa akin yung interface eh. Kasi there are phones right now which have, more powerful memory, more powerful cameras, more, di ba? But hindi yun ang appeal kasi sa akin ng Apple eh. Sa akin, it's more of the simplicity and the design. Meaning pinag-isipan talaga for my comfort. So there's parang an emotional connection related to that, di ba? That pinag-isipan niya kung paano ko to gagamitin, and I appreciate that. Parang ganun eh.
Yes. Thank you. So the last one is prosperity. So what will you do if you had unlimited money?
Wow.
You achieved your goals, and yeah, money was not what would you do?
Parang medyo matatagalan sumagot yung mga tao dito, no? Sige nga, ito nga, sagutin nyo nga mga viewers natin. We're calling on all our viewers too. Hi, Phoebe Lumandas, Phoebe Lumandas is here. Si Kerwin Lumandas from Cakes Coffee ng Silang Cavite. Magandang gabi sa inyo. Joy Villavicente. Si Coach Jane, sagutin nyo. Coach Elmer. Sir Victor Mempin, sagutin nyo yung tanong. What will you do if you had unlimited money? Sige, want to hear your answers.
For Apple, they made their headquarters solar powered. They're investing in renewable energy for the future. So R&D, they set up their company to be at the forefront of renewable energy, because they, it's their they believe that it's their responsibility being in this industry, and also being the most valuable, and I think they're the most valuable company
Yeah.
in the world, and they're making the most money. So it's good that they're doing this. So if you were in a similar position, diba, what would you do with your business and brand? So libreng mangarap, and yeah, just enjoy the process of
Yeah,
imagining
totoo yun.
your kids again.
Diba, nung bata ka, it's very simple. The things that you like, diba, the things that you dream of is very, ako noon, whenever I see ito, just to share with everyone, no, whenever I see an airplane, it really excites me, no, to, number one, to guess, diba, sometimes sa mga tail, makikita mo what airlines it is, no. At a very young age, I used to stop whatever I'm doing to look at airplanes. And my simple wish back then was to travel the world, to go to other countries. Kasi some of my relatives are, and I always wonder, no? And during my younger days, I still, ano pa yun hindi naman cable TV. It's just a few channels on TV where you would have glimpses of, a glimpse of, a glimpse of what America looks like or what other countries look like. And then you have the encyclopedia where you see all this, diba? There's other places in the world that's, you dream of, and you associate the airplane with that simple dream of traveling, diba? So, sarap balikan, no? Kasi noon, actually, I was able to travel and ride an airplane at, parang late na ako nakasakay ng eroplano, sa totoo lang. But, if you hold on to that dream, parang mapabalikan mo, sabi mo nga, no? If you were a kid again, what would you do? And again, more importantly, what will you do if you're able to achieve that dream? And in this case, what will you do if you had unlimited money? Di ba? Ang ganda ng tanong, very, we work hard every day to earn money, but when asked this question, it makes us think. Di ba? Okay, kung may pera ka, anong gagawin mo? Di ba? Ang
It could be
galing.
as simple as traveling with your loved ones, Coach
Yeah.
Mel. First class.
Yeah, di ba? Ako, I would love to experience that first class.
Diba?
Diba?
With your family, being able to bring them to countries that you want to go
Enjoy.
to,
Oo.
enjoy. Yeah. And that
Oh, yung
they
iba ganun di ba? Sabi nga, di ba, when sometimes may halong lungkot pag when you go to another country, especially for work, and hindi mo kasama pamilya mo, and sasabihin mo, di ba, how I wish na nandito sila to see it, di ba? So, yun din. Tama yung sinabi ni Coach Cherry, no? So, this question is actually something that I'll write down and figure out my answer, no? I have an immediate answer right now, but I think meron pa akong ibang days to really figure things out and answer this question. Galing. Next slide tayo, Coach.
Yes. Is everyone good?
Yeah, everyone, nakasagot po ba kayo? Sumusunod pa po tayo? Yan. Sige. Thumbs up sila. Yes, sumasagot sila.
Okay, so tomorrow or the day after, wag mo masyadong patagalin. You may want to draw symbols that best represent what you wrote. So, or you could, if you have magazines, diba, or online, so one image that captures your purpose, your people, diba, a quality that they all share, para mas mo siya, parang nakita mo rin siya, and you can look at this every day. Diba, before you go to sleep or in the morning when you wake up.
Yeah.
You can read the statements.
Ako, advice ko, they should create something vivid. Something that would excite them. Kasi if you put in a mediocre picture na hindi ganong malinaw, then defeats the purpose eh. Kaya nga naglagay ng vision board para yung when you get up in the morning, you see it, you get excited, diba? you get reminded of your vision and the answers to the questions that were posed tonight, di ba? So ako, believer ako ng ganyan yung visioning. Naniniwala ako dyan.
And you can put your photo there if you like, if that'll help you imagine it more. Put your photo, diba, your family there, your team, your employees, or a representation of them that, is unmistakably, that.
Yeah, I encourage everyone to do it as prescribed. Do not use your phone, do not use your laptop, no? Try to do it the traditional way. Kasi it's also the process of doing it that makes you remember it. Di ba? Ngayon kasi ang dami ng shortcuts, coach So ang dami nang pwedeng gawin na shortcuts to doing this, shortcuts to doing that, no? And we miss on that opportunity to experience the process of doing it. Di ba?
Yes.
Ngayon, daming nasa telepono lahat, gusto natin nasa screen lahat. So ang prescription ko is just to do it as prescribed, no? Draw it, color it, no? Whatever you feel like doing to make your vision board more exciting, more compelling, more memorable for you. Diba? Mas personalized, tama ba, coach?
Yes, yes. And you could save it on your phone or on your laptop.
Picturean mo afterwards, pero yung proseso of doing it, yun yung magpapaano yun yung magbibigay sa iyo ng memory of doing it actually. Diba? Ako, yun yung na-realize ko as we go through this exercise. There are a lot of things that I remember from my childhood, and those things are actually things that I did and I actually experienced and I have fond memories of. Diba? Because it created an emotion in me. So enjoy the process of doing your vision board. Diba? Get a magazine, do cutouts, no, and make it memorable. No, para hindi siya hindi siya task or activity that you can actually say na pwede naman palang shortcutin, no. So again, no, do it as prescribed.
Yes, and maganda yung sinabi mo na parang going back to your childhood, because as adults we forget a lot of our childhood dreams, diba? And sometimes we're a different person at work and in our personal. But wouldn't it be really great if we can just be who we are at both places, like at work and at home?
Yes, I totally agree, di ba? Parang minsan nakakahun tayo, di ba? That we are supposed to behave this way at work. We're supposed to conform, but what if, no? What if we can bring out the best, the most positive aspect of ourselves and, in both aspects of our lives.
Yes.
So speaking of lives and planets, and places, eto nagre-represent ng New Zealand, mga taga Little Manila. Magandang gabi sa iyo, Brother Ogie Del Rosario. Hindi ko alam kung nakabalik na kayo. So type mo na lang kung nasaan ka na ngayon, bro. At si Edith Loyola Lixi, nakakataba ng puso every week na naririto ka. And yung birthday girl, birthday ni Miss Annabelle Johnson, dito na nag-birthday. And si Miss Joey Katipon. Ayan. Salamat po. So, nakasagot po bang lahat? Okay.
I'll share a story about one of our clients. So si Quick Clean, when we revisited his childhood, we talked about parang how laundry kasi laundry shop sila. So parang, di ba, chore?
Yeah.
But what if a chore can be fun? Kasi nga parang as a child, di ba, parang we enjoyed naman doing these tasks. Kasi maybe we were still new to it, di ba? But as you become adults, parang nagiging chore na siya. So what if we can design the experience for customers and employees to be fun? So yan yung naging parang essence of the brand, and how it was translated to their store, diba, to some of their activities, and how they represent themselves with visuals, diba, parang fun nga. Like the colors, diba, lively yung colors.
Yeah. Hindi naman kailangan puti lang diba? Diba?
So the next part is, so since it's vision to action, we want to turn the dream into a reality. So we call this portion action boarding. So it's based on elements of nature. So it was brought here by Raymond, our partner from Singapore. It's called well, it's like a tetra map. So kasi nga, di ba, we came from nature. Like we are made up of the 4 elements: earth, wind, fire, water.
Mhm.
Do you agree?
Yes.
No, I mean, we're made up of those elements. So it's also a framework to help you know yourself, and we're using it in this context. And I'll give you some questions again for you to answer so that you can progress on this. So we'll give you 2 minutes each. Well, no need not. Well, yeah, you could raise your hand, your virtual hand when you're done. So we know if we can proceed to the next one, because this one's a little bit more challenging than the vision. Kasi nga parang ano nang gagawin mo, so it'll take a little bit more time. Next slide, please. Okay, so so Earth is an element. So as people, that we have all of these elements, and Earth represents concrete goals kasi nga tangible siya. So if you can choose a concrete goal that will help you move one step towards the vision that you imagined a while ago, what would that be? Concrete, meaning it's tangible and you can
see, feel,
touch.
touch, tangible siya eh.
Mhm. Um, is it okay but to extend a little bit, or do
Yeah,
I?
no worries, no worries.
Okay, because it's 9:29.
It's
Baka,
all right, it's all right.
but I can, ano na lang, you could also take a screenshot of this so that I'll go through each na lang para.
Yeah,
So
okay.
for air, so air is about clarity, diba? Air is clear, and so what are the 1 to 3 resources or steps that you need to take to achieve your goal? So pag sinabi mong air, it's usually like the process or yun nga, steps. Actually, sobrang ganda nitong tetra map: earth, air, water, fire. It's similar to strengths, but it's like I feel like it's a simpler way of communicating a person's strength. Because as although we have all of this, usually we have 1 or 2 that we are more strong at. So there are people who are more action oriented, which is very earth, and there are people process oriented, which are probably operations people. And then the next one is water. So water naman is for people who are good with people and relational relationships. So parang you can analyze people and communicate with them by knowing this framework.
Parang personality types din.
But using nature. So yun, again, very fundamental and basic. So for water naman, what are the important values that you need to uphold while pursuing your vision?
Para you don't get lost, di ba?
The values is what will tie, diba, the connect different people together, diba, despite their differences in maybe perspective or maybe in race or position. If the values are, diba, aligned and the same, then that already, exceeds certain barriers, diba? Coach.
What about yung fire, coach?
Okay, so fire naman represents vision kasi fire is like the sun. So how will you celebrate when you achieve your goals? So fire is very like diba yung qualities of fire is it's parang very yung parang it's bright, diba? It's strong and it's it's brilliant. Parang it's something that sparks something, diba? And it's passion. So people who are fire people or have this as their
Intense.
strongest
Ako
quality.
siguro yung word na ginamit ko is intense.
And very visionary. So and the good thing about knowing your earth, air, water, fire is you can bring it up in certain situations that call out for it. So in a situation that you need to act, diba? Parang you need to just channel your earth in that situation. Diba? It might not be your strongest quality, but if you know that this is how earth qualities or actions na ginagawa ng earth na tao, then you can practice it. So you don't have to accept that you only have two qualities that you're strong at. You can develop other qualities so that you can become a whole, diba? A whole human being that is competent in all four.
Yeah, as described na, it's part of our nature. So it's within us.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So would anyone like to share their vision? Does anybody here have a strong desire to share what they wrote about their vision? Because it's also good to share it with people if you're comfortable in this Zoom. Who knows, like somebody here might share similar values and might be willing to also parang help you progress in that.
Yeah, I encourage everyone to share dun sa comment box, because what's good about this format that we have is that it's number one, it's pwede mong i-replay, pwede mong panoorin ulit. No? You get to enjoy this workshop. Thank you very much, no, Coach Sherry. It's very enlightening even for me. No? I actually applied my this activity to a vision of mine for another concept. No? So, share ko yan in due time. No? For another concept that I've been wanting to open. No? So, yun yung ginamit kong example dito sa ating exercise. So again, we encourage everyone who would like to share their their vision sa ating comment box. Ang dami niyong naririto, nakakatuwa, no? From University Hotel, si Miss Marie Cortobania, Selwyn Alvarez, nagpapasalamat si Annabel Johnson for the birthday greeting. The whole team Cakes Coffee is watching from Amadeo, Cavite, no? Sorry, hindi ko na banggit, taga Amadeo nga pala sila. No, and Sai Gonzalez is also watching along with Josue Amparan. So what Coach Sherry is saying is that if we share our vision to others, then you might find somebody who might be aligned with your vision and you can collaborate. So encourage, we cannot do it now, but I encourage everyone, kasi ako naman from experience, even after the episode, marami pa rin nagko-comment dyan eh. Kasi some people watch it on replay, they don't watch it live. So sige, go ahead, Coach Sherry, so we can wrap up the activity for our viewers, live viewers.
I'll just give a quick example of mine so that you can do it yourself and write it down or journal it. So the way that you would share your vision is to share it in the present tense, like you already achieved it. So 3 years from now, you're already living what you wrote.
Okay.
So an example is, so I would start with the problem. So for mine, it's the status quo in my world is there's a lack of unity and harmony in how businesses operate. So I wanted to develop branding products and guidance to help entrepreneurs know their unique strengths so that they can add value to the world and not, parang just copy or be redundant in the world, and to form their brand in business when they create a brand in a business. So I want to also be surrounded by progressive people like clients, employees, and collaborators who are living their best life and are healthy and present in mind, body, and spirit. And we enjoy and trust and value and appreciate and believe in each other's skills and talents and contributions, that we are, impacting the world and the planet sustainably and our country. And for prosperity, I have a big inspired progressive team and multifaceted environment that supports them, and we enjoy working together. We're mentoring our team and entrepreneurs, and we're traveling to different parts of the Philippines and the world, and we are distributing brands, world-class brands and movements, and I am living on a farm with a forest and a mountain as my backyard.
Napakalinaw. Napakalinaw, no? I like the point that you mentioned about having people who appreciate you and share the same values with you. Napakahalaga nun, ano? Kasi if you talk about unity and having that sense of alignment, ako napaka-powerful nung word na yun para sa akin. No? Yun yung discernment ko no, na yung finding your tribe is very important. Appreciating people around you in as much as they appreciate you is very important. Kasi it's just going to a place where you are appreciated at the same time. Maganda yung ginamit mong term, no? Adding value to the world. Kasi importante na hindi tayo nangunguha lang, no? But we actually contribute and add value. And I think that's the essence of life, no? For me, humble, in my own humble, opinion. Sige.
So this is a visualizer that we have in the toolkit to help you know how strong your brand is. So so it's like a diamond, kasi nga we say that your brand is like a diamond, diba? You're polishing yourself and making yourself, brighter and more beautiful. Because diamonds naman don't start out as diamonds, diba? They were subject to a lot of pressure and heat, and they needed to be cut by another diamond. Like, since they are the strongest substance on earth, it can't be cut with any tool. It needs to be cut by another diamond. So we'll be asking questions in the book, and when you answer it, you'll be able to plot kung anong level mo dito. And then depending on your level, diba, whether you're level 1 or level 10, lalabas yung kung you're a strong brand, a developing brand, or a weak brand. And no wrong or right. It's just what the reality, or what your reality is. And it's your choice if you want to strengthen it or stay where you are. So we have a way to help you future-proof your business. And one of the ways is having a brand strength assessment with you and your team. If you're a business owner, we can facilitate like a workshop with you and your leaders, so that we'll see how aligned you are in terms of the brand, because the brand is intangible, diba? So this is your perspective and what others think of you, so yung reputation nyo, and kasi that's what will if people will choose to, diba, support you or buy into your brand. And then on the right side naman is the vision to action toolkit. So if you want to use this as a guide, you can DIY it. So the questions are also there. So parang they're both like versions of each other, except the other one, we're physically there to guide you.
Where to guide and facilitate. No? And the other one is a DIY. So again, thank you very much, Coach Cherry. And from our audience pa lang, there's, of course, I mentioned earlier, yung Cakes Coffee. Ito, Hotel Marciano, si Erwin Lancero Gallego, no? So, si Nat Tobias, no? From the audience pa lang, no? If you're interested, I mean, we have people from the University Hotel of UP who can actually benefit from this type of a workshop. So, where can they reach you, Coach? Saan kanila pwedeng i-contactin para if they're interested to do this workshop or to get the book, the Vision to Action toolkit? So how can they reach you?
We're on Facebook, or I think the next slide has our
sorry,
like a code.
Nagkaroon ako ng difficulty.
Apologies for extending also.
No worries, no worries. It's our pleasure. No, maraming salamat actually for being here. Nahirapan ako lang parang na-encounter ko yung kanina nating na-encounter na technical difficulty, no. So, can you mention it, coach, para lang while I'm trying to pull it up.
Sige, Blue Thumb Creatives on
Can you put it in the chat box so I can also share it sa ating comment box? Sige.
I don't know the
lang.
but maybe later. Hindi ko
Yeah, Blue Thumb Creatives on Facebook. No? Hanapin lang po natin Blue Thumb Creatives. Blue Thumb. No? Kulay asul na hinlalaki. Ayan. Sa Tagalog, mahaba, coach. No? Blue Thumb Creatives. Ayan. So again, coach, maraming salamat. Itatype ko po dito po sa mga nanonood ng ating episode. Tinatype ko na po ngayon sa ating chat box. Ayan, Creatives. Blue Thumb Creatives. On Facebook, no, coach? Tama ba?
Yes. And if you still have questions, you can also message us. So if there was something that was not answered today, feel free, or if something comes up during the week, feel free to reach out to us.
So maraming salamat sa ating balik guest, no, na si Coach Cherry. Thank you for your time and for spending quality minutes with us, no, at sa ating mga participants. Pwede po natin again i-share sa ating mga teammates, sa ating mga kasosyo sa Resto Negosyo, sa ating mga kaibigan, even sa pamilya, no, pwede nating i-share to. Yun naman ang kagandahan ng technology ngayon, no. It can be watched, no, replayed, shared, no, and pakinalam po, no, pakinalam po. If you found this episode valuable, so please share it with others as well. Ang ating Resto quote for the week, no, napaka-apt, no, at na-ugnay dun sa ating pinag-usapan. If you are working on something that you really care about, you don't have to be pushed, no. Parang ako yan, coach, every Tuesday, kahit na anong mangyari, talagang kahit nasa abroad ako, no, I'll be attending the class, no, 8:30 ng gabi every Tuesday. Because the vision pulls you, no. Hinahata ka talaga ng vision. At yan, tama-tama, napag-usapan natin si Steve Jobs kanina, no. So again, if you're working on something that you really care about, you don't have to be pushed. The vision pulls you. So magandang gabi po sa ating lahat at maraming salamat sa ating, hindi na ito bisita, no? Bahagi na ito ng ating community, si Coach Cherry ko. So Blue Thumb Creatives on Facebook if you're interested to run the same workshop, again with more details and of course with the assistance of Coach Cherry and her colleagues to help you, no, strengthen your brand and your vision for your company. So with that, final words, Coach, sa ating mga viewers.
Thank you so much, Coach Mel, for inviting me again and providing this really safe space for me to also share. And I really enjoy our time together. And I have to commend you for the commitment that you have been giving restaurant owners, like especially in this challenging times, but you're so committed, and that's very inspiring. And yeah, thank you for.
I think it's not just me, it's the whole community. Yung mga nababasa mong pangalan dyan, linggo-linggo nandyan din yan, no? Si paring Norman Zamora, hope to see you soon, bro. Now His Mundo, and again, no, andyan po, tinype ko po Blue Thumb Creatives on Facebook for Coach Cherry and her team. Maraming salamat po sa oras nyo, sa Coach Cherry at sa lahat ng nanood, no? Stay safe, stay healthy, and enjoy the holidays, no? Last weekend, naramdaman na namin yung holiday season sa mga restaurants. So maraming salamat po sa lahat ng mga lumalabas ng muli, nagda-dine out, no? Umo-order for delivery, mabuhay po tayong lahat. 2 years and a half ago, pinagdarasal lang po natin itong panahon na to. So let's appreciate it and let's enjoy each other. Maraming salamat po and God bless.